Hi, this is Elaine again, and I'm making this little extra in-between video because I'm not up to par in the least bit with editing. So I kind of screwed up a couple of the dreams, so I'm filling in the gap here. Anyway, to continue my dreams, this one, I was outside and I was alone. It was like dusk outside, headed toward dark, and I was kind of scared, being lost and alone. And I went up to, well, there was nobody there, but I asked somebody. I didn't see somebody, but I asked somebody where I was at. I said, "Where am I?" And then a hand came and wrote on the ground next to me and drew a line, straight line. And above the line, a hand wrote 33° north. He said, "This is where you are." So, okay. Next scene of the dream, I was walking a narrow path. It was a paved lane, I would call it. It was a narrow street, and it was a wooded street, and there were trees on both sides. And so I was walking this narrow lane, and I went up to the tree, and I said, "Can you take me home?" And to my surprise, this tree opened up like it took off a costume. It unzippered and walked right out of this tree costume. And he said, "I'd be happy to take you home." And then on the other side of the lane, I look, and there's two other men coming out of tree costumes. You know, they took them off just like they were costumes. And then in the next scene of the dream, there were 4 cars, and we were getting into these 4 cars, and it was like a train of cars, and they looked kind of like roller coaster cars, only not the rail wheels. It had regular wheels on the bottom of it. And so we all climbed into these cars, and I was in the last car, and then the car drove due east on the 33rd degree north parallel. Due east would be toward Jerusalem. Jerusalem is on the 33rd degree north parallel. So he was taking me home. But we went up, the road we were going was due east, but it was a hilly road. There were hills going up and down that I could see. And basically, end of dream. So with the first part of the dream, I was lost. But I was shown by that hand, I'm sure of the Almighty, that I was on the 33rd degree north parallel. 33 is the Hebraic number for the scattered remnant. So obviously I was among the scattered remnant. And as I was walking down the lane, it was a narrow lane, so it reminds me of walking down the narrow path, following his ways. I came up to the tree of life, and I asked him if he would take me home, and he said he'd be happy to. The other 2 men that came out of the trees, I don't know, witnesses, messengers, but the number 3 is divine. It represents things that are divine. It represents truth. It represents our Elohim, Yahuah, and it also is significant for Messiah. So the number 3 is significant. And the number 4 for the 4 cars I was in, 4 is the number for message. It is also the number for motion. So on my way there, I do have a message to deliver. So anyway, that was a dream. So those who follow his path, we are lost until we really find the truth. Number 3 is the number 4 truth. Anyway, that that is the significance of that dream. And also the next dream that I had, I was up on a high hill, and I could only see myself as my face kind of clouded, and it was a face, so it's very high up. I couldn't see my whole body, so I wasn't sure if that was me in the person or me in the spirit. I didn't know. But anyway, I'm looking down in the distance at my husband, who's standing in front of a pole barn. It's a big garage type of pole barn, and it's got a paved driveway, and he's standing outside the open door in the paved driveway, and he is dancing with another woman. And it appeared that they were newly acquainted, and he was teaching her how to dance. And so anyway, that was, I did see a description of the woman, not a face, just the back. And, medium height and with shoulder length bobbed hair. And that's all I could describe of the woman that he was dancing with. And so that was the end of the dream. When I woke from the dream, I'm like, why is my husband dancing with another woman? I was totally not upset by it. And then I'm thinking of myself up on that high hill, thinking, since I look like I'm kind of in the spirit, maybe something happened to me. Did I die? Is he getting newly acquainted with a new bride potential? Anyway, in dream, when you see a husband, when I see a husband, it relates to Messiah, the bride, groom. And he was standing in front of an open door, teaching this woman how to dance. And to dance is for two people to be in perfect union. You have to let go and let him lead. It's a humbling, but it's wonderful humbling because you just relax and let them lead. And so he was leading them in perfect motion. They could move together and be in agreement and emotion and total trust. You have to trust on that person to lead you. So I was given a vision where I was able to see the new bride becoming acquainted with the bridegroom. And be it from what I've spoken here in these videos that I'm showing you or telling you what he has exposed to me, but he has allowed me to see the bridegroom and his new bride, learning of him, learning to trust him and follow his lead in front of the open door. It reminds me of the verse in Revelation 3, verse 20, which says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." Where'd it go? And if you open the door, he will come in and sup with you. And that's a personal relationship. When somebody comes to dinner, that's a sit down, teach and learn about each other. Anyway, that's the end of that dream. Anyway, I hope you're blessed by these videos, and I hope it's not too big a distraction with trying to make a continuum here into the next video, because I don't edit well at all. Anyway, with that I end with Barak Hashem, Yahuah Elohim, Melech Shamayim and Eretz.